going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you like movies, horror, skateboarding, physical media, collectibles, and just general nonsense, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, please like this video. For today, I just got a simple physical media haul I wanted to share with you guys. I figure anytime I have a decent amount of stuff that I've bought recently as far as physical media is concerned, I'll just show it off here so that way you can see what I've been getting, see it in comparison to what other people have been buying, and also just to see what my moods have been, because generally when I'm buying something, it's because I want to watch it, so, you know, let's get into it and see what I've bought recently. First up, I have the Toxic Avenger 4K box set from Troma. Now, if you watched our Toxic Avenger locations video, you saw this in the background while I was doing my whole spiel. From my understanding, Vinegar Syndrome helped with the transfer of these films, getting them to 4K, and let me tell you, this is incredible. Movies like Troma movies, the Toxic Avenger specifically, almost has no business looking as good as it does in this box set. Oh my god, if you're a fan of Troma or you're a fan of the Toxic Avenger, this is a must-buy. The films look incredible, and it's just, this is the best these movies are ever going to look, and it's just insane. There's no reason these movies should look so good. And next up, you've undoubtedly seen this on countless social media posts and YouTube all over the place because it seems like everybody's been buying it. It is High Tension from Second Sight Films on 4K. Now this set is incredible. As usual, Second Sight does like the big box treatment. You get the movie, you get the book, you get like 6 little art cards, which, let's be honest, I don't need these art cards. Like every one of these sets comes with the art cards. They kind of just live here forever. But the transfer on this is incredible. And for those who don't know, High Tension was like kind of the start of a French extremism in horror. This movie started off a wave of films coming out from France that were just extremely gory, violent, and over the top, and really gruesome and hard to watch. I remember watching this one like late in high school, being like, holy shit, like can't believe they were getting away with it type stuff. The special features, of course, you know Second Sight always knocks that out of the park. High Tension. If you are into those French extreme movies, this is a must-buy. Can't wait for Inside, and let's hope Martyrs gets the treatment now that we're getting Inside and already have Frontiers and High Tension as well. And next up is one that I kind of should have got a long time ago, but I just didn't, kind of holding out hope for North America to get a release. And that is the Dawn of the Dead 4K set from Second Sight Films. Now with this one, they had like a bigger box set that I kind of missed the boat on. So I kind of was just holding on to my old Anchor Bay Ultimate Edition DVD set until North America got a release. If you're in the horror community and the physical media community of nerdery that we all are, you know that Dawn of the Dead's rights are tied up with Richard Rubenstein, the producer on the film, and he is not letting them go for licensing unless you pay a very pretty penny. And the reason the UK was able to get a hold of this is because George Romero licensed out the rights to Dawn of the Dead to Dario Argento when the film was being made. It has the rights in Europe, so this can keep getting releases out there. I was holding out hope for America to get a release, but you know what? This looks great, and I'm really glad I got it before it went out of print. But it's amazing. You have all 3 cuts of the film, you have all the special features, and you have an awesome documentary called Document of the Dead that was made when they were making the movie. It's just incredible, and honestly, I would say buy this while you still can, because I'm not seeing this getting a North American release anytime soon as long as Richard Rubenstein has the rights. Use a site like Diabolic or Orbit because you don't have to pay the import fees, and they have all the great imported movies, Blu-rays, 4Ks and stuff at a reasonable price. I have the Giallo Essentials Red Box from Arrow Video. This is a Blu-ray set. Vicky and I have been really getting into the giallo subgenre of horror lately. Giallo is just essentially a genre of films, novels, and literary works that were popularized in the early 70s, dealing with like murder mysteries and just like whodunits, crime thrillers with lots of nudity and like kind of over-the-top kills. A killer is always wearing black gloves and is dressed in all black, and you don't know who it is. You got to figure it out who it is. But you know, we watched a ton of the must-see ones, obviously. Like, we saw Deep Red, we saw Opera, we saw Tenebrae, we saw Phenomena, we saw The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. So we wanted to dive deeper into lesser-seen ones. So I picked up this red Giallo Essentials set with 3 movies in it, and we started watching some of them recently. We watched The Fifth Chord, which is incredible, and I can't say enough good things about it. There's a great special feature on The Fifth Chord that talks about its use of lighting and shadows, and the score by Ennio Morricone. It was so, like, beautiful to watch. I couldn't get over, like, this movie I had never heard of, just how stunning it could be to watch. So, yeah, as a fan of the giallo subgenre, I gotta say, like, getting into these lesser-known titles has been a lot of fun. So I can't wait to get more of these and check out all these movies. They're all really fun, and I gotta say, like, if you're a fan of horror or, like, crime thrillers, giallo's a great thing to look into. Hopefully we get the rest of these soon, and Vicky and I can do a video talking about giallo movies soon. And next up, we have The Doom Generation on Blu-ray. Now, this is one we never had even on DVD. I think, actually, the only way we had it was a VHS of it. It actually is a really cool VHS. It's got, like, a little opening and all that. But this is the only way Vicky and I have been able to watch this for a very long time. So to see that this got a Blu-ray release, I was, like, really excited. So, yeah, Doom Generation. And the cut of the film on this Blu-ray is the director's version that he screened at Cannes. So it's like the original way this film was supposed to look. So it differs from the VHS tape. I've never been, like, a super gigantic fan of this film, but Vicky loves it. And she was really, really psyched on this version of the movie. I think it's great too, don't get me wrong, but this is a Vicky movie for sure. This is kind of a funny one. It is Jeepers Creepers Reborn, the 4th entry in the Jeepers Creepers franchise.
Bruh.
Now, I know the original director is a scumbag loser that we don't want to talk about. This one is directed by a new guy. This movie is one of the worst movies I had ever seen in my life. So when I saw it was pretty cheap at Best Buy the other day, I had to pick it up almost as a completionist, so that way I have all the Jeepers Creepers movies, but mostly because whenever I say a movie's bad, I now have the ability to pop this in and be like, nope, it can get much, much worse. So yeah, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I don't know why the hell I bought this. Call me a glutton for punishment. Death Spa on Blu-ray. Now this is a movie I had never owned before. I watched it on Shudder and rented it countless times when I was a kid just because the cover art was always really cool. I've always really liked this movie and just for some reason never picked it up. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's about like a fitness club that's like haunted by this person who died, and people start getting killed in the sauna. They start getting killed by the machines and caught on fire. You got Ken Faree from Dawn of the Dead in here. It's just a really goofy, schlocky 80s horror movie. And if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, man, Death Spa. It's just a goofy 80s romp that I had to own. Alright guys, so the next two I got from the Arrow sale recently. They're 2 movies I've wanted for a while and just never picked up. And that first is Edge of the Axe. Now, this is an 80s slasher movie. You see the killer wears like a white mask and kills people with an axe. And I love this movie. Not because I just love 80s slashers, I do. Special features are great also, by the way. It's just really funny because it involves like 2 people talking through computers, like on what is essentially AIM before AIM existed. So to me, it's just really funny and like really bizarre to watch it like happening in the 80s. But the kills are cool, the killer's cool in this. It's just a fun 80s slasher that I never owned and finally decided to pick up. And the other thing I picked up from Arrow is Girls Night Out. Now this is another 80s slasher, but with this one, I had never seen this before. So I was really excited to check it out and pick it up because people were putting this over saying that it was like great and a lot of fun. So I was excited and it was so much fun. The killer wears like a bear suit, like which is the mascot of this college, and attaches like knives to its fingers to kill people. It's a lot of fun. If you like 80s slashers just like Edge of the Axe, like this is no different. And you have Hal Holbrook from The Fog in this for a little while. I was so glad to see that I enjoyed this and everyone was right in their assumption that this was great. great special features. The film looks great, obviously. So, Girls Night Out from Arrow. If you haven't checked it out, definitely find a way to see it, especially if you love 80s slashers. Whole lot of fun. And what a crazy ending, and yeah. Dickie! Alright, the next one I picked up from MVD, and it is Split Second, starring Rutger Hauer and Kim Cattrall. Now, this is one I remember seeing, like, late night on, like, the USA Network when I was a kid. It is essentially taking place in the future, but because this is so old, the future was 2008, and it's kind of like a Blade Runner meets cyberpunk-looking world. It's, like, all flooded and wet and gross, and all the cops wear leather trench coats, but it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, and this looks great from MVD. Rutger Hauer is essentially like a beaten-down cop whose partner got killed, and he's just been on the hunt for the killer, and now the killer is killing all these other people now, and it's just goofy, schlocky as all hell. It's, like, hilarious, like, Rutger Hauer at his best, like, chain-smoking cigars and, like, talking to dogs, and you even get, like, Kim Cattrall naked in this, which is fucking wild. But I remember telling my wife, like, hey, Kim Cattrall's in this, you love Sex and the City, and then, like, it's Kim Cattrall in, like, the shower, just, like, with her boobs all hanging out. But Split Second's a lot of fun, especially if you're into, like, these, like, old movies that are supposed to take place in the future. Like, they're such a fucking blast to watch now because it's just so ridiculous. And the special effects and, like, gore in this are really fun and goofy. Gotta love Split Second from MVD. Alright, now these next two I'll run through pretty quick because they're just essentially upgrades that I did to old DVDs. For some reason I never upgraded, and I found these at a good price. And that's kind of what I've been doing anytime I go to, like, thrift stores or just, like, really, if I see any Blu-ray that's cheap and I only have it on DVD, I'll pick it up just so I have the movie in high def. And that is Cabin Fever, which I don't know why I didn't have this on Blu-ray. I only had the DVD. But this is my favorite Eli Roth movie ever. And, yeah, Cabin Fever. It's amazing. It's, you know, the start of the mid-2000s horror boom, and dude, the party, man. Go back inside and have yourself a big 40. I don't know why I never upgraded this, but I did now because I think I got it for like $5. So, yeah, Cabin Fever. And the other one was a 3-pack of the Scary Movie 1 through 3. I never saw 4 or 5. These are the only 3 I ever saw, and the only way I had them was on like these old rental Blockbuster DVDs that I had. So, saw this for like $8 on like a used section, and just decided to pick it up because comedies just aren't like this anymore. This is like really over the top and vulgar, and they just don't make movies like this anymore. And I don't know, making fun of the horror genre is so easy, and it reminds me of my childhood going to see these with my like grandma. I remember my grandma taking me to see the first one, and like when the penis comes through the bathroom stall into the dude's ear, I was like shuddering, like, oh, my grandma's seeing penises with me on the big screen. But yeah, you know, Scary Movie 1 through 3. Nothing special, just wanted to upgrade it to HD. Alright, and last was a find I got at our local record store that has used DVDs and Blu-rays from time to time. It is Stephen King's Night Flyer. Now, this one has never been upgraded to Blu-ray or anything like that. So this is like long out of print, and like I don't think it'll ever get upgraded because this is another one that was produced by Richard Rubinstein, who, just like we were talking about with Dawn of the Dead, he owns the right to this, so I can't imagine the rights coming out anytime soon. So this is stuck on DVD for the time being, and I found this for $1, and I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. You got Miguel Ferrer's in this, and it's almost like this weird amalgamation of The X-Files meets Twin Peaks with like vampires in it. It is very goofy, a very goofy like HBO movie, but it's a lot of fun, and yeah, I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and it was great revisiting it. And Miguel Ferrer's fantastic. He almost plays his role from Twin Peaks in this. And for $1, that last scene of all the dead bodies coming back to life after Miguel Ferrer is worth $1. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, at least check it out. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully this gets a Blu-ray one day, but I'm happy to own it even on DVD at all because I never did before. Alright guys, so those are my pickups. Anytime I have a big amount to show you guys and just talk about for a minute, I'll do that rather than just showing one at a time, you know what I mean? It's just more fun. But what have you guys been picking up lately? There's a lot coming out, and I obviously haven't picked up everything. A lot of what I got here is just stuff I've been holding out on and decided to finally pick up. A couple new releases, but, you know. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor and like this video, and if you dig what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel. Vicky and I will be back soon with another video, I am sure. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and long live physical media, guys. I hope to see you soon. Love you all so much. Adios.